Well, the wife left town about a week or so back, left me at home by myself to bash. 5 straight nights of TV, I was ready to scream. So I called this beer-drinking buddy of mine and said, "Hoss, I ain't having a very good time. Let's go to the wrestling matches and let off a little steam." So I showered and shaved and put on a tie, fed the dogs and fixed me a ham on rye. About then I heard old Bill pull up outside the door. I said, "Hoss, let's get us a case of beer. What we don't drink, we can bring back here." But I'd have stayed at home if I'd have known what lay in store. We pulled up to a building that looked like a barn. I hid 2 beers under my arm, 'cause the crowd was already backed up plumb out in the street. People were pushing and shoving like cattle. Just getting in the line was a heck of a battle. We had to fight like hell, but we finally got ringside seats. Now, Bill bought a program as we passed through the door. We went to Section D, seats 3 and 4. About that time, the announcer stepped in the ring. He said, "Tonight's the greatest card ever signed. We got a stretcher match that'll blow your mind." Then they lowered the lights and the crowd began to scream. He introduced the Spider from parts unknown with his trusty partner, the Blue Cyclone. They were taking on a team that never had been beaten. Well, the ref checked them over and the rules were explained, and somebody hollered, "Hey, the Spider's got a chain!" And in came the Vulture with his manager, Sneaky Pete. Then they rang the bell and all heck broke loose. My legs were shaking like a rubber goose. Well, I'd never seen anything like this, not even in the war. The Cyclone put the Vulture in an airplane spin, body slammed him, and then did it again. I swear, I didn't see how that cat could take much more. There was a little old lady right next to me. If she was a day, she was 83. But she raised more sand than any man I'd ever seen. She screamed and cussed in the Cyclone's face till they carried her out like a basket case. Then the police came and formed a circle around the ring. Then on the second row, up jumped a man, and I could see a pocket knife in his hand. And he hollered, "Hey, let me in there, I'll mop up the floor." Well, his wife reached up and grabbed his sleeve, and I saw him breathe a sigh of relief, and then he sat down. Never did say no more. It was right about then, in the thick of things, my buddy Bill threw a chair in the ring. That's when I knew we'd better be heading for the door. 'Cause I saw the Cyclone looking at us, and he rubbed his head and started to cuss. And I knew if he caught us, he'd break Bill's neck for sure. Well, where we parked wasn't very far, and old Bill, he ran so fast, he beat me to the car, locked the doors, and wasn't about to let no one in. I turned around, and the Cyclone was there, and he said, "Hey, Punk, you forgot your chair." By the look in his eyes, I knew that this was the end. So I screamed, "Hey, watch it, pal, I run a school where I teach karate and jiu-jitsu." But before I could finish, he gave my teeth a rake. Then he jumped up real high in the air, then both feet caught me with a flying mare. Now tell me again how all that wrestling's a fake. Then he body slammed me 2 or 3 times, then he put his arms around me from behind, then he pile drive me right on that hard concrete. It broke both my arms and 3 of my ribs. It's the closest thing I've ever come to being killed, and that's the last thing I remember before he put me to sleep. Well, I'll tell you one thing, from now on, I'll watch the wrestling matches at home, sipping on a beer in front of my own TV. And if my wife and kids ever leave again, I'm gonna stay away from all my friends, 'cause the only friend I can really trust is me.